40 credits, and a requirement to start receiving Social Security checks. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. I know in this video, I do want to discuss the details of a very important aspect of Social Security and a requirement to start receiving your ongoing monthly checks. This is pretty important, so let's get right into it. Really fast before we do, thanks so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe right down below the video. It's totally free to do so, and I'm here for you right by your side every single day to help you out in any way that I possibly can, to keep you informed of everything going on, and of course to talk through all the intricate details of Social Security to maximize your monthly checks. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and I'll be here for you every single day, no matter what. That's my dedication, that's my promise, and that's my commitment to you and everybody right here on the channel. Thanks again, truly appreciate it. Subscribe down below, and let's get into it and talk about 40 credits and what you need to know about this, as this is a very important aspect and a requirement to start receiving your monthly checks from the Social Security Administration. Now, I have received a number of questions about this over the last few months here, and again, why I want to make this video, because it's very important, and again, there's a lot of confusion out there about this. So I want to talk through the details, and then I will get into some of those questions that I've received and answer them as well right here in this video to better explain the situation as far as what is going on and what you need to know about these 40 credits. So you probably know this, or maybe if not, this is somewhat of a confusing topic, but let me explain the details of this. So basically what it comes down to, in order to start receiving Social Security retirement benefits, you need to have at least 40 credits, okay? You cannot get benefits from Social Security retirement without at least 40 credits. But how do you get credits, right? Think of it this way. It's like playing a video game. The longer that you play the video game, the more that you contribute, then obviously the more coins or the more credits that you earn, and then it's kind of like the same thing with Social Security. The more credits that you get, once you hit 40, then you can cash them in for a little sticky toy at the counter. You know what I mean, right? We've all been there, right? You go to the arcade, you play all day, you get all these tickets, and you go redeem them for like this little sticky hand or something, right? Yeah, right? It's kind of the same thing. Anyway, here's what it comes down to. So you can earn up to 4 credits per year, but no more. You can earn less than 4 if you want to, but it's all based on earnings. Now, here's the thing. The earnings threshold for how much you need to earn each individual year to get each credit does change every single year. It goes up a little bit. Now, I'm recording this video in 2023. Maybe you're watching this video, in a couple years, in 2024, 2025, something like that. Or maybe you're watching it in 2023. That is totally fine too. Now, here's the thing. In this year, 2023, you need to have $1,640 of income per credit to earn, okay? So that is for 1 credit. Now, here's what it comes down to. You can earn up to, like I said, 4 credits per year. You can earn 3, you can earn 2, you can earn 1, you can earn 0. That is totally fine, but no more than 4, okay? So with that being said, that would indicate that you would need to have at least 10 years of work history through, earning at least the threshold. In this year, like I said, $1,640 per credit. And again, that has gone up a little bit over last year, and next year, 2024, I guarantee you it will be going up yet again, as it does go up every single year. So essentially, they move the goalposts out a little bit more, making it a little bit more difficult for people to earn those credits. Now, here's the thing. If you're working part-time or full-time for sure, and, part-time depending on how much somebody is working, this 1640 probably shouldn't be that hard to achieve, right? Over the course of the entire year. But here's what it comes down to. So basically they break it down like this. You can earn 4 credits a year. So it's basically 1 credit per quarter for basically 40 quarters is essentially what it comes down to, right? So basically 1 credit per quarter for 10 years is 40 credits, and then there you go. You've got your work history, and you can claim Social Security retirement benefits provided you're at least 62, okay? So another little aspect of the situation, right? But I'm guessing if you're watching this video, you're probably, 62 or somewhere around that range, starting to think about claiming your Social Security benefit, okay? All right, now here's the thing. I want to talk through a question here, well, a couple questions that I've received here over the last several months here from people here in the community reaching out, asking different aspects of this. Now, the most recent message that I just got the other day, somebody reached out and said, my grandfather worked for 30 years. Can he claim Social Security? Well, I need to know more information about that. First off, obviously, I cannot give advice here I don't know everybody's situation. There's way more to it than just saying, I worked for 30 years. Can I get Social Security, right? There's a lot more to the equation than just knowing that information, okay? So I did respond to this person, and I said, I need to know more information. First off, did this person work, 30 years? Okay, great. But was this work actually recorded? As in, was he working and actually getting like a 1099 or like a W-2, something like that? One other thing that I want to point out, and I'll come back to this here in just a second, which is I do get questions from people asking, I work for cash under the table. Is that counting toward my credits? That's a really good question. Let's come back to that. But the simple answer for that one is no, okay? Something that's worked for cash under the table, that's not being recorded, okay? And again, I'm not here to say that you should be doing that. I'm just simply telling you, no, be very careful about that, okay? Obviously, I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. I'm just simply saying, if you're doing something like that, obviously that's not being recorded, right? So yeah, just be careful with that if that's something you're pulling, okay? All I'm saying here is just I want to break down the details for you. But this person reached out, and again, I'll come back to the whole cash situation here in just a second because I've had other questions coming in on that as well. But this person reached out and said, my grandfather worked for 30 years. Is he eligible for Social Security? Now, again, like I said, I want to know, is that income recorded? Like as in, was he getting a W-2, 1099, something like that for that type of work over that course of time? If so, then I would say, well, probably based on what you're telling me, it would seem that 30 years of work history probably makes him probably pretty eligible for Social Security. But my next question would be is he at least 62, right? You can't claim until you're at least 62, you can't claim Social Security retirement benefits, right? So anyway, remember this much as well. They will take 35 years of your highest income to determine how much your benefit is going to be. For every year that there's zero, you get a zero, right? So that distorts the actual number as far as your average for your Social Security benefit as well. Okay, so that's something else we can talk about in a separate video. That is a totally different topic. Now, let me talk about the cash thing for just a second here, because I've had other people reach out and say, well, I'm, X age or whatever. I've worked for, 12 years or something like that, but for the first, 5 or 7 or 10 years of when I started working, I was mowing lawns, I was plowing snow, I was doing handyman work, the list goes on and on. I was doing house cleaning, whatever like this, and it was all cash. Does that count? No, that does not count, okay? Why doesn't it count? Because it's not recorded. If it's not recorded, how are they supposed to count it toward that, right? They can't really give you credit for something that's not technically count or recorded, right? That's what I mean by that, okay? So, by the way, I am not endorsing that whatsoever. I'm just simply saying, to answer those questions, no, that's not going to be recorded. Unless when you file a tax return, you say, yes, I earned $10,000 cash from cleaning houses and from, doing yard work and from mowing lawns and whatever it happens to be, doesn't really matter. Unless you claim that on your tax return and say, here's what I earned, it was all cash, and then, that's recorded, and obviously you would have to pay taxes and stuff like that on it. But then in that type of situation, then I would say, yeah, it probably would count. But unfortunately, if it's just like, here's some cash, and then there you go, then I would say, no, it definitely does not count, okay? So, a lot of questions that I've received on this, but when it comes down to it, this is Social Security retirement benefits. When it comes down to SSDI, Social Security disability benefits, if you happen to become disabled or you are, disabled at the point where you are no longer able to complete work at the capacity that you once did, the requirements for credits are different for SSDI, okay? That's a totally different topic in and of itself yet again. And when it comes down to SSI, then obviously the details there are also very, very different, okay? I could make dedicated videos talking about all of these individually, but what we're talking about here is Social Security retirement benefits, which is the vast majority of beneficiaries, which is well over 60 million. There's about 8.9 million SSDI beneficiaries, and there's about 8 million SSI beneficiaries, okay? So you can see clearly Social Security retirement beneficiaries, there's way more of them, over 60 million of these individuals, okay? So it's all about the 40 credits. Now, most people can achieve this, over the course of an entire lifetime. And it doesn't need to be consecutive either. It could be I worked 1 year here, I took 3 years off. I worked 2 years, I took 2 years off. I worked 3 years, I took 1 year off. I worked for another year, I took a year off. I worked for a year, I took a year off. You could do that too. That's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. It does not need to be consecutive at all. Just basically, 40 credits, as in, 1 credit per quarter for 40 quarters over the course of 10 years. However long that wants to be. It could be spread out over 40 years of time. That's totally fine. Starting at the age of 20, going all the way to, say, 60, 62, something like that, that's fine. Doesn't matter. It's just basically you got to get those credits in your lifetime at some point in order to get Social Security retirement benefits. Does that kind of make sense? I know. Seems kind of weird. It's a basic topic, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of moving parts about this one simple topic alone, right? So, anyway, hope that helps you better understand the situation. I know, kind of a weird one, right? But either way, I'll be here for you in any way that I possibly can be. Please make sure to leave your comments, your questions, your feedback down below. If you want me to elaborate on this further, of course, I can certainly do that. But for those of you that have asked some questions about this, as in, working for so long, working different types of jobs, different type of payments, stuff like that, I would just simply say this much. It counts if it's recorded somehow. Working for cash, that's fine as long as it's recorded. If it's not recorded, well, then you're kind of playing with fire in a variety of different ways, right? Not only with Social Security, but with the IRS as well, okay? So just saying, watch out for that, okay? Just be very aware of what you're doing there if that happens to be something you're doing, okay? Now, again, I'm not here to tell anybody what to do. I'm just here to inform. I'm here to educate. I'm here to help you out in any way that I can. That's all I ever do. I'm not here ever to tell anybody what to do. That's not my business, what you do with your personal life, okay? I don't want to be that person. I can't stand being micromanaged, and I don't want to do that to other people as well, okay? So just saying, right? Like the old saying goes, what does it say? Something like, do to others what you want done to you or something like that. Well, I want to be educated. I want to be informed. I want information that's accurate. I want it to be delivered in a, concise manner. And that's what I try to do here in these videos. So anyway, just trying to do for you what I want, for me as well. So anyway, here for you in any way that it can be. Please make sure to subscribe down below. If you haven't done so, share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day. Take care, have a good one, and catch you again later in the next